Hello everyone, welcome to our Wellness Wednesday Weekly live here on Planet Wellness. This is Patrina and
Ronald.
I hope you're all doing well. So give us a hello in the comments if you're watching live, and it's hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay, either on this channel or on YouTube. So today we're going to be talking about something that most of you would have eaten or are eating. However, you may find that what we're about to share, you may not know all the facts. So I'll pass you over to Ronald to share about the benefits of apples.
And are you going to show them the apples?
Yes, I will show them.
Yeah, we're going to show you some varieties of apples, okay, and then we explain to you the benefits, okay? Just show them
Okay,
that.
so there's this one, very red, called Red Delicious.
Yes.
Okay, quite a huge apple.
Yes.
And this one is called Gala, G-A-L-A.
That's right.
Okay. Then it gets slightly smaller, Pink Lady. You can see it's pinkish.
Pink lady, yep.
Pinkish.
Yeah, pink lady.
And this one is one of my favorites. It's called Jazz. Why? It's because if you look at this apple, Jazz, and this one,
Yes.
the Red Delicious, can you see the difference in the size?
Yeah.
This is quite huge.
Yes.
And this is smaller. This is something like you can put in perhaps your kids, lunch boxes and stuff like that. Make it easier for them to eat.
Yes.
Especially when you're introducing them to apples. Don't give them a huge one because they may put them off.
They'll put it to waste.
Or for you as well, if you're not used to eating apples, you may think this is too large for one go. Try these ones first, and then slowly you'll actually get the hang of it, and you can eat larger apples.
Exactly. All right, so now let me give you some amazing, interesting facts. Did you know there are 7,500 varieties of apples in the world? I'll repeat that. 7,500 varieties of apples in the world. Remarkably, in the United States, they're quite advanced in many places, not all, but in the United States, 2,500 varieties are grown. 2,500. Now, I've been to California, I've been to Utah, and I've been to other places in and about. And when you go to a supermarket in America or the US, it's not a supermarket, it's a hypermarket. Hyper. It's like 3 of our supermarkets in the UK. Like the aisles are like 1 kilometer long, right? And for example, with corn, they'll have 8 varieties of corn. You'll have yellow corn, you'll have purple corn, you'll have pink corn, you'll have black corn. It's just mind-blowing. And they're so advanced with agriculture in certain parts, like California. Right? So if you've got 2,500 varieties to choose from, you'd be like, which one do I eat, right? Now when you get to the UK, everywhere I've been to a lot of places. I've been to Sheffield, Leicester, Manchester, and Newcastle, and so on. Scotland, and I've looked at the supermarkets there, and I've looked at the farm shops, and basically I'll tell you what you've got. You've got Red Delicious, you got Pink Lady, you got Gala, you've got Cox, you got Cribs, you've got Braeburn,
Granny Smith,
which
is a greenish apple.
Yeah, white Jonathan or yellow Jonathan, and that's about it.
I'm just looking at the various apple names. I don't think that Braeburn,
I mentioned that. Yeah.
Right,
You've got the Braeburn can be green, and can also be red, as well.
And also Golden Delicious.
Golden Delicious is another one. Now, for my value, I noticed this. People are really quite funny. And I can see that with a hand on my heart. I've been watching them for 75 years.
Some people, not all people.
Some people. For example, you'll say to someone, eat apples. And they'll say, I only eat Pink Ladies. Or I only eat Red Delicious. Big mistake. I'll tell you why. If you look at the colors, right? This is a Jazz.
As you can see, it's very light.
You can see it's very light color, right?
Yellow, orangey.
Okay, and then you see that's a darker red. Now this one, the red one, has got more antioxidants than this one. You get it? And so you shouldn't be eating just one type of apple forever, right? So now, Why is the apple so important? First of all, I met about probably 20 years ago, I met a lady from Tasmania. As you know, I'm Australian. Tasmania is an island on its own. It's right on the southern tip below Victoria, below Melbourne. You go there by ferry or you go there by plane, right? It's independent. It's part of Australia, but it's the sea divides it, the Tasman Sea, right? Now, they grow the most magnificent apples there because the soil's so rich. And they also grow the most magnificent celery. I've seen celery there that are 2.5 feet long, organic. The soil's that good, right? It is a uniquely gifted island. Now, the apples I tasted there were mind-blowingly delicious, right? Anyway, this woman was 92 years old. She was born in an orchard, an apple orchard. And I loved, the first time I met her, I thought she was 60. I'm not joking. She's magnificent skin. I thought she was 60. So as young as Petrina. Yeah. Anyhow, so I said to her, what is your secret of your skin? And she told me her age. I just about fell over. I went, wow. And I said, what is your secret? I always like to know, like when someone's really healthy, you always got to ask them. They'll give it to you. She said, from the time I was born, as soon as I started getting my first teeth, my mum gave me 2 apples from the orchard. They had an orchard. They had orchards there. 2 apples. So she ate 2 apples from the moment she got her teeth. And then she kept on eating it for about 90 odd years. She kept on eating apples. Right, 2 apples. And her skin was like flawless. There wasn't a mark on it. And if you didn't know her name, you would have said 55, 60. Right? And she was not, and not only that, she was limber. She was agile. She was walking. She was working in the garden. She could walk, she could jog, she could play bowls, and usually at 92, most people are lying in the chair, bloody exhausted after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? This woman was alive. So from that point on, I made a point of eating as many apples as I could, right? And although when I came to UK, I was limited to about 5 to 8 different apples, different varieties, but I did. And so now, one clue, when you eat an apple, now I'll give you a big clue here. When you eat an apple, if you take an apple like that, right, and you bite it, right, you bite it, and you chew it, don't you? While you're biting it and you're chewing it, watch where you've bitten, it starts to go light brown. It'll start to oxidate. And then you bite that, the next lot gets oxidation, right? And you go, wow. So in other words, you start losing vitamins. You start losing minerals. So guess what I do? I have a sharp knife, a very sharp knife, like a Japanese knife, and I get the apple and I'll cut a little slice, just a tiny little slice. In other words, bite size. Now watch carefully how clever that is. So I cut this bit here like that, see? Just a little slice like that. I then put my hand on that, you see, like that. I cover where I've cut. In other words, the air can't get to it. You get it? That's clever, isn't it? And then I chew that one. I chew the slice, about a little sliver. Then I get the knife and I cut the next slice. And again, I put my hand over it and I eat it, right? So that way, the apple does not oxidate because I'm covering the wound of the apple, if you like. But don't eat the apple Eat it from the slice. Great tip. But you must have a very sharp knife. You know, the sharper the knife, it's more safe for you. Not only that, the sharper the knife, it creates less oxidation. If you have a knife that's blunt and you cut an apple with it, it will oxidate very rapidly. Now, why is the apple so important? Take a look at that. Now, you see that? That when you see a color like that, you know immediately that's rosy, isn't it? It's a lovely color, isn't it? It is very inviting. You know, so a lot of other fruits haven't got that color. For example, kiwi fruit is just like brown on the outside, right? It's not that looking up, but it's good, but it's not that appetizing. But an apple, look at that. See that? Now, so I encourage you to eat 2 apples per day, say after breakfast. But I'm going to give you a good tip. If you're not used to eating apple, right? Eat 1 apple. Eat for 1 week, Monday to Saturday. Eat 1 pig lady, 1 gala, one red delicious. You get the idea? You go have one variety every day for 7 days. In other words, at the end of each week, you've eaten 7 apples. Get it? 7. Now, the following week, you're used to it. The following week, you have 2 pink ladies, 2 red delicious, 2 Jonathan. You get it? Now you have 14 apples. And then on the 3rd week, you eat 3 apples per day. So you could have 2 after breakfast, 1 after lunch, or 1 after dinner. So now, by the time you get to 3 apples a day, something wonderful is going to happen. You're not going to be constipated anymore. You get that? You're not going to be constipated. Now, constipation is a very nasty condition. Constipation means that your food that you're eating is rotting in your intestines. In other words, I've seen it, hundreds of cases where people eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, large amounts of food, and they go to the toilet on the 5th day and they expel out what we call rabbit pellets. In other words, not enough fiber. Get it? Now, why is this so important what I'm saying? Listen to the words. Not enough fiber. So if you're eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, you're eating bacon, you're eating red meat, not enough vegetables, not enough fruit, you are going to become constipated for weeks on end. In other words, the food is going to rot in your gut, right? And I mean that because we've seen the pathology. Red meat takes 92 hours to break down. 92 hours. So if you're eating red meat every day, and you're not a hard worker, you're not a logger, you're not a bricklayer, you're not a labourer, you're not a heavy-duty gardener, and so on and so on. If you eat red meat, it will take 92 hours to break down. In other words, Monday gets digested on Thursday, and Tuesday gets started on Friday. You get it? And so, but your state is what I call a state of putrefaction. In other words, you're putrefying in rubbish in your gut. So when you get to 2 apples to 3 apples per day, let's say 1 apple will give you 4 grams of fiber, 2 apples will give you 8 grams of fiber, 3 apples will give you 12 grams of fiber. Now, you know how wonderful that is? I have proven over 45 to 50 years of study on the gut that you need 38 grams of fiber daily. That is the amount you require to flush your bowels out. 38 grams. Now, if you want, just to give you a comparison, but a perception of how much you need, where do you get 20 grams of fiber from? 20 grams. 6 apples, 6 oranges, 6 bananas per day. Per day. That's 20 grams. You're still short 18 grams. But if you eat 3 apples, you're getting 12 grams already. You're 1/3 of the way to your target. And that's what most people don't get. They don't even get 3 grams of fiber in their food because they're eating things like pizza, KFC, wings, hamburgers, white bread, white biscuits, no fiber. That is the secret to digesting your food. So now, one more thing. Very important. I've seen many women in the main street, in what I call a high street, in Oxford Street, and I've watched them. They will buy 400 pounds, 500 pounds of foundation, lipstick, makeup, every month. They'll spend that. Let's say 400 pounds a month. They'll spend it. They'll use their credit card. They'll spend it because they want to look beautiful. Not all women, but many. Go down there, you'll see it, and just observe them. Now, what does that mean? That is not going to fix your complexion. Foundation, makeup, lipstick. Most lipsticks got poison. It's got Vaseline of some kind in it. That's why it's called.
Got lead as
It's got
well.
lead in it. And every time you have to put your lipstick on, you are creating more chemicals inside you because where do you think that lipstick gone after you've put it on? After a while it wears off. But so when you're drinking coffee or tea or kiss the husband, right, the lipstick's gone, so you do it again and again. So every time you do that, you're transferring more lead, more chemicals from the lipstick, more fat inside you, right? Now, why am I saying that? It is your choice whether you want to take lipstick or not. But Petrina is a live example. She never uses lipstick. Never. And guess what? She's very attractive without it because her skin absolutely oozes health. Right? And nobody ever says to her, why aren't you wearing lipstick? No one. the first thing they look at is the complexion. You get the idea? So now, so you like I said, 1 apple to repeat, 1 apple every day for 1 week. But make sure you eat. When you go and buy the apple, you're allowed to do that. You buy 1 red, 1 reddish, 1 pink lady, and so on and so on. You get the idea? Now, why is that important? Another big factor. If you look at this one, for example, this apple there, can you see how red that is? Right? Now, you compare that to this one. You see that? Now, this one's got a bit of red, not much. You see, but look at even that red, but look at this one. Can you see how bright? So this one has got a lot more antioxidant activity. In other words, it allows you to keep young, right? And this one, the pink lady, is good because you see it's quite rich. You see all around. Whereas if you compare that one, the jazz, quite a bit of yellow. It's still tasty, still good, but this one's got a lot more antioxidants. So and the pink lady is one of my favorites as well. But I do make sure that I have other apples during the week, and so is Petrina. Now, to complete the equation, apples, I've got the fiber, 4 grams of fiber. It's got vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K, potassium, magnesium, phosphorus. Now, these are key minerals in the apple. The potassium you get a lot in bananas, but the potassium is really good for your heart. The magnesium is good for your nerves and allows you to sleep better. And the phosphorus fires your brain, makes your brain fire. Can you see in one little apple, you get all this goodness, right? And apple is known, remember the old saying, 1 apple a day keeps the doctor away? Let me tell you, that saying is true. That woman, that 92-year-old woman, never, ever went to the hospital. Ever. She didn't even go to doctors. Didn't need to, because she was so healthy. So imagine the benefit. Now, remember what I was saying before to finish off. £400 a month for foundation, makeup, lipstick. Now, I bought one apple. One apple was costing 19 pence at Lidl yesterday. 19 pence. So I bought about probably 18, and that cost me £3.72. Right? So now if I eat 3 apples a day, that works out at 60 pence per day. That's all. 3 apples, 60 pence. In 1 month, how much is that? £18.
Yes.
Now, there's a choice. You can invest in £18 of apple for the month. You don't have to buy it in one go, but it'll cost you £18 on average. If you shop around, you'll get that, fresh apples. And then that is your choice, or you can buy £400 of foundation. What makes more sense? What makes more sense? To buy the apple, because the apple is going to make you a lot healthier. And guess what you do? I'm an ex-banker, I'm an ex-investment planner. Guess what you do? If you're going to find the £400 to spend on your foundation or your lipstick or whatever, spend £18 of it on the apples. The other £382, invest that. Not in the bank. Invest that in bank shares. Right? In bank shares, you'll earn about 12%. That will make you a millionaire if you start early. A millionaire. So instead of putting the money and paying it to the big companies in Oxford Street, put investment. Create an investment, buy the investment of apples. Make sense? I hope you enjoyed that. It's a very different approach to what Overville said, wasn't it?
Yes,
True?
yeah. So give us your thoughts, what you think about it. We look forward to reading your comments
Yes.
in the comment section below.
Yes.
And do tag your friends as well who are eating apples or who may not be eating apples. They may change their mind.
Yes.
And the next time you hear or you hear someone say or you hear yourself saying to yourself, being healthy is expensive, just think about what Ronald's just shared. Being healthy is not as expensive as you think it is.
That's right.
Because there are other areas in our lives where we tend to spend without thinking. Like, for example, like your mobile phone,
Yeah.
your bill could be
Yeah.
like as much as £1 or more a day.
Yes.
And you're spending 60 pence a day on 3 apples.
Yes.
So just look at how that compares.
Yes. Yes.
And see where you can cut down perhaps on the material side of things.
Yes.
So that you can invest and spend a bit more on your health.
Yep. as a final afterthought, but a very powerful one, in the street we're in, it's quite a wealthy street. It's got lovely houses, gardens are quite well kept. I've observed I'm not going to name names or the street, but I can tell you this is true. There's a family there, husband, wife, and then one girl, one boy, adults, right? They're adolescent, but they're 4 adults. Every Thursday night, every Friday night, every Saturday night, every Sunday, they order 4. This, I'm not kidding you. They order 4 family-sized pizzas per night. That is 92 pounds on Thursday night, 92 pounds on Friday night, 92 pounds on Saturday night, and 92 pounds on Sunday night. And you know why I proved it? I like to do my research. I observed this phenomenon because I was in the garden at 8 o'clock in those nights, right? So I watched this happen. The little pizza guy who comes in his Vespa and goes to the same house. So on a Wednesday morning, when we put the rubbish out, I went to the bin, the wheelie bin, this big wheelie bin, right? Guess what? The lid could not be shut. The lid was wide open like that. You know, you're supposed to have the lid shut. Now, what's happened now, the council is telling us, if your lid cannot be shut, we won't take your bin. Right? So what I did, I pulled the bin a bit, I pulled the lid a bit more open, and I looked into it, and there were 16 carcasses of pizza boxes. 16. Right? That proved to me they'd paid 16 at 23 pounds. How? 360 pounds a week. So multiplied by 50 weeks, that's 18,000 pounds on pizza. I mean, like, I just mind boggled. I mean, and they're wealthy people, but they're not wealthy in mind. They're not wealthy in health because they're eating that much pizza. They all are obese or quite fat, and then they walk around like if they're bloody paralyzed. They're young. So don't make that mistake. No, one pizza alone will pull you. One pizza is enjoyable, I can say, but it will pull you back. It will pull your nutrition back 2 days. 2 days, you have to clean it up. So if you're going to, next time you consider a pizza, eat apples instead.
Okay, thank you very much. And we look forward to sharing our next wellness tip next week.
Yes.
Till then, take care. Have a great Wednesday and week ahead. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your apples.